The team of one of the most highly anticipated freeware airliners on Microsoft Flight Sim have provided us with a fantastic update and some new flight controls released that are compatible with Xbox. In today's video we've got plenty of great Microsoft Flight Sim news, so let's get right into it. We'll kick it off first of all with the Aerodynamics team. They've released their quarterly drop on their Discord, and I've featured this on my channel before. I really do like this project, it's one I can definitely get behind. This update is no exception. For the first time they've released an update that mostly focuses on the DC-10, from looking in the flight deck to the external model to the announcement of the DC-10 air tanker, which has the capability of course to be a firefighting aircraft. Now the screenshots do speak for themselves. Progress on this plane has been phenomenal. From a look at the DC-10-30F, which is the freighter variant, to the DC-10's flight deck, this is something really exciting. Now of course the proof will be in the pudding. Hopefully we'll get some proper videos soon, because it does look like it's getting that way, where systems are working inside and outside of the cockpit, but of course we can't really tell unless we get a video. But aside from that, they've done an absolutely fantastic job. Just look at the flight engineers station, it looks marvellous. Looking down at the primary flight display, you can see we've got some action there. Whether or not it's just static, it's beyond us, but it just looks good. That's all we do know. Moving over to the DC-10 air tanker, you can see we've got some nice effects coming out of it, symbolising the water or fire retardant, depending on what you use, I guess. Of course, most recognisably, externally, it's got the dump tank on the bottom, which allows them to carry the fire retardant. I think it's very clear that you need to get excited for this project. We've had consistent updates from a very well organised team who aren't overstating and underdeveloping, rather they're almost understating and overperforming. We also get a bit of information regarding the EFB now being integrated into the aircraft. That brings along ground service management and then all the standard stuff as well, like Navigraph and SimBrief integration, and of course you can expect a moving map in there as well. Please do join their Discord. We don't get a massive look into the EFB, you can just see the logo, the Aerodynamics logo, on the electronic flight bag in this aircraft. Who knows, I reckon we'll see it within the next year, maybe even sooner. It's definitely an exciting time for the Aerodynamics team, and a big thank you to them for all their hard work on this wonderful aircraft. For all of you military nuts, we didn't get a big look at the KC-10 in this quarterly drop, because to be fair, it's dominated all the others. Of course, that's going to be the first variant released, I do believe, but it's nice to see a focus on the DC-10, which I guess appeals to more people. Sadly, it won't be coming to Xbox, or at least this is not what they're thinking just yet. PC only at the moment. Who knows, it might change. Now moving over to IniBuilds, they announced over at FS Weekend, which is a flight sim convention in the Netherlands, that they're working on the P40F Warhawk for Microsoft Flight Sim. Of course, an American World War II aircraft that I believe was called the Kitty Hawk in the UK, and then some other variants were called the Tomahawk, depending on what type of Warhawk it was. Anyway, it's coming to Microsoft Flight Sim on PC, and with IniBuilds I'd imagine Xbox as well. It will be payware and it will be released sometime in November, so within this month. Of course, with all things, it will come to PC first, and then if it does come to Xbox, it will be released slowly on the marketplace. We have seen a P40 before, so it's nothing new, but IniBuilds always do a fantastic job, and from the trailer, it does look pretty good. Moving over to Miltech Simulations, they've released their MV22 Bravo Osprey for Microsoft Flight Sim. This is on PC, and in the future, it should be released on Xbox once they sort out those horrific WASM problems. Of course, that's going to make some people angry in the comments. I'm sorry that's the state of the sim, it just is what it is. WASM support will be introduced in Sim Update 12. It's not fair, it's not right, but I'm afraid it is life. You can pick the Miltech Simulations MV22B Osprey, of course the famous tilt rotor aircraft that is basically so versatile as it makes it also incredibly dangerous, through Orbex, and in the future on the marketplace for around £30 UK or $33 US. Reviews on this aircraft so far seem to be overwhelmingly positive. It is a very unique flying experience, and I'd imagine it puts you through your paces. Moving over to PMDG, they've updated their entire 737 family on Microsoft Flight Sim. I believe it's now the 10th update, which is either good or bad depending on how you look at it. It's nice to see the PMDG team is still working on it. Sadly, no EFB just yet. Focusing on more bug fixes and quality of life improvements. Sim Update 11 of course means that most aircraft developers wait until the update comes out before they add any big things to their aircraft, for the obvious reasons that by the time Sim Update 11 comes out, any drastic changes the development teams make might be invalid by that point. And finally, for those of you on Xbox, Honeycomb Aeronautical have released their Alpha Flight Controls XPC. Now this comes in at $350 and of course works with both PC and Xbox. It is an improved version of the original Honeycomb Alpha Flight yoke. It's now got a 400% increase in resolution of the 12-bit Hall effect sensors, which is basically just how sensitive the internals of the yoke are. Of course, the big plus point here is that it is compatible with the Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S and Mac on top of PC. Now you might be thinking, what about if you want to use some other Honeycomb products with your Xbox aside from the yoke? Well, they've now got the Honeycomb Hub out for Xbox. Now annoyingly, when I first saw this, I thought it basically meant your former Honeycomb Aeronautical products, like the one I've got sat in front of me, work with Xbox, but seeing as it's only $40 I did think, well, how would they let that slide, because surely no one would buy the new Honeycomb XPC. Well, I was right to think that, as sadly the Honeycomb Hub doesn't let you do that. It basically just sort of acts as a USB hub to use your Honeycomb throttle quadrant, yoke and pedals with your Xbox. To be fair, I think it is a bit stingy to charge people twice, you know, as opposed to letting them just use one yoke for their PC and Xbox if they've got an older one. Most people with a Honeycomb yoke, or at least the first edition, will be on PC anyway and probably won't move back to Xbox. It is expensive, but trust me, it's worth it. I love my Honeycomb yoke, and if you don't want to move over to PC and would like to flight sim on your Xbox, and there's plenty of good reasons why, then it is a fantastic product to pick up. From me today, that is all. There's all your Microsoft Flight Sim news. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you around. Check out my Amazon affiliate links for all the stuff I use to fly, film and edit. Bye bye.